Project Search.
Well, hey y'all, it's Danny again. And today's presentation is going to be a review of the insubordination section of our suspension and dismissal policy. Pay close attention. There are some updates that have to do with the new safety protocols at UTMC. You'll be presented with several scenarios and asked to record your thoughts. You can write them down or just remember them and be ready to share them with the group. Project Search UTMC Remote Learning, How to Keep a Job, Part 3, Avoiding Insubordination. This presentation will cover information related to keeping a job. During this video presentation, you will need a pencil or pen and paper handy to write answers to the questions that are asked. Think carefully about the questions and be ready to share your answers with the group when we meet to talk about the presentation. Refusing to perform your assigned tasks is called insubordination. Insubordination can be as simple as saying no when a supervisor instructs you to perform a task. However, there are other actions that can be considered insubordination too. This presentation will examine insubordination in several of its forms. Disciplinary measures, such as written warnings and suspensions, are often the consequence of insubordination. Please note, insubordination is not tolerated at Project Search. Refer to the dismissal suspension policy for details. Here are several examples of insubordination. Each example is followed by questions. Be ready to share your thoughts about those questions when we get together. And don't forget that you can pause the video after each example so that you have some time to think about it before you move on to the next one. Example 1. The supervisor tells you to mop the floor in the hallway. You say no and start dusting the light fixture instead. Your question is, what do you think your supervisor would say to you if this happened? Example 2. During a staff meeting, the supervisor shares information about some changes she is making in the workplace. You say to her, do you really think that plan will work? And your question is, why might the supervisor think this question is insubordinate? Example 3. Jimmy didn't like the decision his supervisor made, so he walked around the workplace pouting and complaining all day. Here's your question. What should Jimmy have done differently? Example 4. After the supervisor made it clear that all employees would need to report to work at an earlier time during the holidays, Fred argued with the supervisor about the decision for several minutes. Your question, was it a good idea for Fred to argue with the supervisor? Give it some thought. Example number 5. When Cindy arrived at UTMC to start the day, she was told by hospital personnel that she must have her temperature taken before she could enter the building. Cindy told the hospital workers that she had taken her temperature at home and was fine. She refused to have her temperature taken again. Question. Did Cindy violate the dismissal and suspension policy? If so, what specifically did she do wrong? Example number 6. While performing cleaning tasks in the main lobby, intern Hank was excited to see a friend from high school. He took off his mask so that his friend would recognize him. Question. Was it okay for Hank to take off his mask? What should he have done differently? Example number 7. Intern Terry felt her throat getting sore as she performed tasks in her department. She continued working despite the pain until it was time to go to the class session. Question. Was Terry being insubordinate? What should she have done differently? Things to think about. Can you think of other ways people could be insubordinate in the workplace? Have you ever been guilty of insubordination in a workplace or at school? Remember, it's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to refuse to try your best. We will talk in depth about the examples given in the presentation when we have our meeting. Oh, fun! I got an email. Well, let's see what that says. All right, well, it's from my supervisor. Okay. Ooh, wow. All right. Well, I've been given a new assignment that I need to get started on, and I don't want to be insubordinate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I want to keep my supervisor satisfied with my work, and I want to stay in good standing with my employer. I'll see you all very soon. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands.